Hi, guys. Welcome to Punch Me in the Face. I appreciate you jumping on the podcast. What I want to talk about today is how do you empower people, right? Like, I don't care what you're doing, personal, business, coaching, you run your business, it's your best friend, it's your brother, it's your mother. How do you empower people? And I think that it's one of the things I've been able to get really good at, and I think there's some real important keys to empowering people. Number one, you got to know what that person's, not what you want them to accomplish, what they're genuinely trying to accomplish. You have to know in your heart of hearts by asking them, what do they want? And specifically, what do they need from me? What do they want to accomplish? Number one, what do they want to accomplish? Number two, what do they need from me? And then number three, how can I convince them that I genuinely care as much about their success as maybe they do? Those are the keys to empowering people, because a lot of times and through that you build a relationship. If there's no relationship, by the way, you can't empower anybody. You have no shot. They don't believe you care about them. They don't believe you want to see them do well. And eventually it doesn't matter. Like, I've had coaches I played for that I genuinely knew they cared about me as a person and really wanted to see me do better in the game of life, okay? And then I had coaches that I genuinely knew they wanted to win, which I wanted to win too. And our interests aligned, they aligned. Like, dude, you want to win because you want to keep like your little high school coaching job or college coaching job. I want to win because losing sucks. So we're aligned, but I know you don't care about me, and I'm totally good with that. Which means I had to seek my empowerment other places. Somebody had to feed that for me at that time. Then there were coaches that I went on to work for and work with in business because I knew how much they cared about me as a person. I think we think that people will, if we're nicer to them, or if we are more comforting to them, then we think that they'll like us more or be willing to listen to us more. That's actually the biggest fallacy in empowering people. Because when you're looking to be empowered, you want the truth. When you're looking to be empowered, you need to be challenged in your areas of weakness. You can't just be built up in your areas of strength. We all have areas of strength. What slows us down is not our areas of our strength, not our areas of strength. It's our areas of weakness. I'm a crazy above, like, I see we can do it and I'm positive as shit. You can't talk me out of it. I don't care what it is. If it's fucking achievable, I'm in. That's how I am. There's nothing you can do to talk me out of it. That's a strength of mine. That's not what stops me from succeeding. It's my areas of weakness that I had to get built up in because somebody cared enough to tell me. What we do as human beings when somebody's trying to help us is we take the amount of things that they say to us that we know they're taking a risk saying them. So if I meet you and I go, dude, you're great, you do everything great, there's nothing wrong with you at all. Like, I don't give a shit. It might make you feel good for a minute, but you feel like shit later. It's like a comfort food. It feels good as you're eating it, but then later you're like, shit, I shouldn't have eaten that. It's terrible for me, and I kind of feel like crap now 2 hours later. We do the same thing as people. We let you appease us, and then subconsciously, we know you don't give a shit. You're just trying to get us to do the next thing or you just genuinely don't want to have the conversation. Whatever we do or don't do doesn't benefit you, but you don't care. When you take a risk and say, this might bother you, but I have to say it. I got a friend one time, and I was like, he made a comment about the way, and I said, dude, I'm going to tell you something, you're not going to like it. You're really, really, really out of shape. And you're going to fucking die earlier. And you have kids, and it's not funny. You eat like a slob. You drink too much. I ain't judging you, but I do not want to be at your fucking funeral. And everybody goes, can you believe what happened? I'm like, yeah, how the fuck did we not think it was going to happen? He fucking was overweight. He didn't care about his health. He didn't work out. He ate too much, drank too much. Like, I don't want to sit there and go, well, at least we didn't make him upset. I'll never forget, because he's gotten in ridiculously good shape and better health. And I said, "That I want you to be here for your grandkids. Life could take you at any point in time anyway. Why are you going to like try to make that happen?" And he said, "Man, all these other people I thought cared about me. You're the only one that, while it pissed me off when you said it, it made me upset when you said it. I appreciate you for saying it. And I knew you were willing to let me be upset with you because you wanted me to be okay." That's how you start to empower people. How do you find out what they want? By asking really good questions and shutting your mouth. And then helping them talk through to you about what they actually want. How do you figure out what they need from you? You ask good questions and you start pushing. You see if they're open. And I say things like, "I'm going to be upfront with you because I'm here to help you in business. I'm here to help you. I'm coaching your team." Whatever it is, this is the established relationship and I want to help. But it doesn't mean that and by the way, I'm not going to be right all the time too. If I do something that's counterproductive, tell me and we'll talk about it. Like we'll genuinely talk about it. When you start to build those things up, the people know you care about them, or you would never do that. People that don't care say stuff like, "No, dude, I think you're good. Just keep doing your thing. You're doing the best you can. Hey, man, don't be so hard on yourself. You're doing the best you can. Don't even worry about it. Hey, dude, I know they're hard on you, but just do one day at a time. You're doing the best you can." Now, if the person's genuinely doing the fucking best they can, then tell them. Like, you're doing the best you can. Like, I didn't tell my friend he was going to lose 100 pounds in 4 days. You're doing the best you can. You're drinking less, like on Tuesdays. That's a start. You're not eating that 4 times a day. You're eating it once a day and eating a little bit better than the other. Like, you got to start somewhere. But the problem is that when you find people that appease you, we subconsciously know those people don't give a shit about us. They care more about being liked than they do about you being successful. And I think that's always, for me, been this rub of, and once you find out what they need from you, you get permission to help them. And it goes like this: I want to help you. I genuinely do. But I don't want you to be mad at me when I'm trying to help you. Like, can you walk me through what you don't want me to address? Like, I see some things about your business, I can help you with it, but do you want me to be upfront with you? You know, I had a guy one day I worked with for a while, and he came in and he said, "Hey, I got some good news. My wife's pregnant." And I said, "Was that on purpose?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, okay." Now, he wasn't making any money. Like, when I say work for me, dude, I just had him come to the office. I was making money selling stuff. I didn't need him. I wanted him to go sell. We just hung around the office. And I'm like, "Dude, there's really no job for you to be here. You're just here, like having lunch when we come in. I don't mind. I like you as a human being, but you should be out selling like the 5 of us. We don't have a company. We're just out individually buying leads and selling shit. Like you should be doing the same thing." And the next day, his wife came in. I sat and I cared about him. I care about him immensely. And I was like, "Hey, what's your plan with this whole thing?" And they're like, "Well, she's going to quit her job." And I'm like, "But you don't have a job." And I said to both of them, I said, "Guys, listen, I care deeply about you. And if you get mad at me, you get mad at me. I have to say this. Dude, you're going to have to grow up. Because right now, you cannot quit your job. He can't afford the health care, you can't do that with a baby on the way. You're going to have to work." Where he got frustrated. He's like, "She doesn't have to." I go, "Then why don't you get that frustrated about you going and making sales? Because you come in here every day, eat lunch, hang out. You don't give a shit. You don't do nothing. You got a baby on the way. So why don't you handle your business, man the fuck up, then help her get out of her job if that's what you want to do." You know what I did? Exactly that. I didn't do it. But instead of me going, "Oh my, hey, congratulations. Like, that's awesome. You have no income and a baby on the way. Hey, dude, good work. Like, baby's coming. I'm happy the baby's coming. You need to have a baby. You got her pregnant. That's awesome. Good for you. What are you going to do to support the child? And if you're not going to, and she has to, at least tell her, don't bullshit her. Don't tell her she can quit her job. So when it's like she's 8 months along in her pregnancy going, "Man, I get to quit." He's like, "Whoa, hey, wait a minute. I don't really have a job. You can't quit yet. Just take maternity leave and go back to work." You got to be honest with her. And I knew at that moment in time that I could say something that would make him really upset and her, and I cared deeply, but I wasn't and you know what? They weren't mad at me. My motivation was no other reason but to help. I had literally no other motivation. They went on to have a huge family. He works his ass off, does very well. I didn't do anything, but I did help him look at the reality of the situation. Just like people have done for me. I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm like, okay, well, here's the reality of it. I might still do it, but sometimes I'm like, oh, shit, that could really happen? Yeah, that definitely can happen. Oh, shit, okay. Well, maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe I should just, like, back off. So it's getting people to understand that concept, right? You have to get them to understand that concept. So empowering people is multifaceted and multi-layered, but it does start with you putting their success above your concern for how they'll feel about what you say. And if you're saying something and you're just doing it to be critical and you don't believe it's going to benefit them, don't do it. If I knew there was no chance he was ever going to work, and that's how he is, like no chance, would I do that? Like, it's really not my place. But he kind of asked. I knew he was a stud, young. I knew he hadn't experienced it yet, but he would. I knew he'd do great. So, it becomes such a game of chess when you're empowering people. But for the people that have empowered me, I know how over the top loyal I am to them because they empowered me. They were honest with me. They were direct with me. They challenged me. And I love that they do all the above because I knew they cared about me. The coaches that got on me, I knew took a risk that I wouldn't like them. And if you go, well, they wouldn't care. Yeah, they would. I was pretty good. They didn't want me to hate them. And I was strong-minded. I could be an asshole. No, they cared more about my success than their feelings. See, we do this like, well, I hurt his feelings. No bullshit. You're worried about your feelings. You're worried about his. That dude's, you're worried about your feelings. Don't project that shit onto somebody else. And that comes with the territory when you're empowering people. You've got to find, it'd be like any other thing you're doing in life. I was a social worker for all these years. I'd ask people, how's your therapist? Your court ordered therapy, how's it going? Well, you go, how many times does he say things that make you uncomfortable? Or she say those things? And if their answer was not often, I was like, you better get a new therapist because we all got problems. And there should be things that they say or ask you that make you go like, ugh, that is me. I didn't really want to hear that shit, but that is me. You shouldn't want, you should be uncomfortable. And they should do their job. And then sometimes they're just your friends. I've worked with people that were social workers, and I'm like, dude, you've been open case for a year. I come out to the case, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, he's crackhead. You know that, right? Like he's crackhead, meaning like he ain't got no job. He's got out of jail. You got your kids there. Like, what are you doing? Make sense? So hope this makes sense. I appreciate you jumping on, like, share, subscribe, send it to a friend of yours. If you're like, he's going to go ahead and get rich here, baby, send it to him. If he goes, Shawn's dumb, that's fine. I can handle that. Comment, like, subscribe. We need your help always. And again, I always am ridiculously appreciative of any time you spend listening to me talk about what we're doing here and punch me in the face.